Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title, today's video is another uni video and I'm basically filming a Q&A all about university. So I asked over on my Instagram if you guys had any questions because I know moving day is coming up. So I asked if you had any questions about my uni, which is UEA, or moving day in general, making friends, your course, just literally anything. And I got so many questions, so thank you so much if you did take part. Go and follow my Instagram if you haven't already to take part in future Q&As because I definitely will be doing more. Most of the questions do seem to be about UEA specifically, not all of them, but there are quite a few. So it's pretty much a UEA Q&A, which is absolutely fine. So I hope this video helps some of you guys out. And without further ado, let's just get into answering your questions. So the first question that I have is, what advice would you have for someone who's leaving home for the first time and what is the community like? So I would say leaving home for the first time, it is scary, and I for one was so nervous to come to uni. But I think the main advice that I would give is to just try and get as involved as you can. Like as soon as you get there, I've said this before, like after you've unpacked your stuff and settled in, I would definitely go to the kitchen and socialise. The kitchens at uni are probably the most social space. Everyone just kind of tends to sit there because it's the biggest space that people have in their flat. So yeah, and I would say don't panic too much. Everyone is in the same boat. And although it is scary, like I completely understand that you would be nervous and stuff, but I do think the best advice that I can give is to try not to panic too much and just have fun making friends. Everyone is so up for meeting new people. Everyone wants to make as many friends as possible. So whilst it is a scary experience, it's also a really fun one. And I think you learn a lot by the experience as well. Putting yourself out there, you'll become a lot more confident. So yeah, and the community at UEA is so nice. Considering it's still really high up on all the league tables, most of the unis that are high up in the league tables are like really big unis, but UEA is definitely one of the smaller ones. So I feel like that really gives it a community feel. Like everyone kind of knows everyone around campus, and literally there is a link everywhere. Everyone knows everyone in some way or another, which is really nice. I have just changed the lighting a bit, so I'm sorry if that's annoying, but it just felt really dark, so I've just opened my blinds a bit. The next question that I have is, what kind of stuff would you recommend us to bring to make our rooms feel more homely? This is something that I was really excited for when I moved out. I was so excited to kind of have like a new room and redecorate and make it feel really like cute and cozy and stuff. So I lived in Hicklin on campus, which is, I think they have the smallest bedrooms. I really liked my room. It was tiny. It was like a tiny little box room, but there was plenty of storage, and I actually ended up really enjoying it because it felt really like cozy and it felt really homely already. Extra things that I brought some fairy lights, and I kind of just like hung those up. You can literally get them from Primark for like £2 or £3. I also brought so many photos. I printed off loads of kind of photos in a little Polaroid style before I came to uni, and I had some like shelves in my room, so I just kind of hung those up too, and they looked really nice. I brought some little plants as well. You can get some well, you can get them anywhere, but I got 3 tiny little plant pots from IKEA. There's so many things that you can bring to make your room feel more homely. Cushions are also a really good one, so I brought some nice fluffy cushions. I brought a blanket. I brought photo frames as well, so I had like my Polaroids hanging up, but then I also had a couple of photo frames with like my friends from home and my family, and then I had like a poster thing up on my wall as well. I would definitely recommend command strips if you're putting anything up on the wall, but what I would say is make sure you take them off the right way, because I literally yanked a whole chunk of paint out of my first year room. So definitely make sure you read the instructions and take them off properly. If you do take them off properly, they do not mark the walls at all. You'll be fine. And then the next question I have is, again specific to UEA, is there free parking near the uni for visitors who are coming for a weekend? So there's not free parking, but there is very cheap parking. There is a university car park on campus and it's massive. During the week it is really expensive, so if you've got visitors coming in the week, I would not recommend you park in there. But if you're coming at the weekend, then it's only £1 to park, which is so good. But if you have family or friends coming to visit during the week, then I would recommend you find some parking like off campus. So when one of my friends came up to visit, my mum managed to find like a website, I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but I will leave it in the description. It was something about car parking spaces, and it's basically where people rent out their driveways pretty much and let people park there. So we managed to get a space in a driveway really close to campus, and it was a lot cheaper than if you were to park in the campus car park during the week. The next question I have is, do you have any tips for international students? I'm not sure what kind of tips you mean, like just tips settling in or like specific to courses or stuff like that, but in general I would say the same to everyone. It doesn't really matter whether you're an international student or a home student. I would just say get as involved as you can, join loads of societies, join clubs. There's so many, I think there's over like 200 clubs and societies at UEA, so you will definitely find something that you enjoy, and that is a great way to make friends because you already have something in common with those people. So that is the biggest advice that I would give to everyone. Someone else asks, would there be face-to-face classes for the upcoming batch? I think that there is a bit of a mix. They're not 100% sure how it's going to work this year, and obviously it depends on what course you're doing and your year of study. As far as I know, there's going to be a mix of online teaching and face-to-face teaching. So like where you would have massive lecture halls, they will probably be online because there's just no way that you can socially distance when there's like 200 people in a lecture. But then smaller seminars and practical work are more likely to be face-to-face. It really depends on the government guidelines, and things can change all the time, so I can't say for definite, but hopefully there will be a bit of a mix. The next question I have is, what do you think UEA Freshers Week is actually going to look like? And again, I can't really answer this definitely because I'm not on like the organising team or anything, so I'm not really sure what they've got planned, but I do know that they are working hard for you guys to still have a really fun week, and there will be some kind of activities. There is an app as well, it's called the Rise app. So once you get all your information to register for UEA, then you'll get given like a login. So I recommend you get the app. I've not actually had a chance to look at it yet, but I'm sure that will be really good. Freshers Week will definitely be different to normal because obviously they've had to adapt to the current situation, but I don't think that means it's going to be rubbish. I think you will still have a really good Freshers Week, and it might mean that you just end up doing more things with your flat, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I kind of wish that I'd have spent more time with my flat in Freshers Week because I ended up just meeting loads and loads of different people. I feel like I was out with a different group like all the time because not many of my flat actually went out. There was only really one other person in my flat who liked clubbing as much as me, so I spent most of my time with her, which was still so fun. But yeah, I didn't really get to know my flat as much as I could have done. So I think this might actually be a really nice chance for you guys to get to know your flat a lot better. You can play like drinking games in the evenings or go out into town, go to Spoons, go bowling. There is quite a lot open at the moment in Norwich, so I definitely don't think you'll be short on things to do. The next question I have is, do we get given Microsoft Office to download onto our laptops? Now, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure that you can download it for free through the uni. I don't remember paying for it. I'm pretty sure that you can get it through Blackboard, so you need to wait until you get given your registration details so you can then log in. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure that because you're a student and you go to uni, you do get like PowerPoint and Word and Excel included. I then have the question, what are lectures like? So I feel like this is really broad, but I completely understand why people might be asking this. Like, I had no idea what to expect when I went to lectures, and they are so different to college or sixth form or school. Like, it's a bit weird to get used to because it really is what you see in films. It's just like a massive room and everyone has like, you have like benches. So the first thing that's different is it's not tables, like it's just long lines, and then there's a presentation and the lecturer going on at the front, benches go up in stages, so like there's different levels, and all of the seats look down into this little presentation that's going on. So how most lectures work is that the lecturer puts together a presentation, and then there is a screen at the front, and they will just give the presentation, so they'll just like read off key information, and then a lot of the time lecturers will then upload their screens to Blackboard later so you can look through them. Obviously this year lectures are going to be a little bit different, so they're more likely to happen online, and that will happen in a similar way. It will just be that the lecturer is giving the presentation, and you can, rather than being able to see them, you'll probably just be able to hear their voice, but they'll still be saying the exact same things that they would have done if you were having it in person. The next question is, were you nervous? And I feel like I've already kind of answered this, but yes, I was absolutely terrified to come to uni. Literally a week before, I kind of had a mad panic, and I was like, I don't know if I want to go, like, is this for me? Am I making the wrong decision? Obviously I am so glad that I didn't back out, because I've made the best friends, I'm having the best time still, and yeah, so I don't regret anything, but I was very nervous. I think you would struggle to find someone more scared than me. The next question is actually a really good one. I love this question, and it is, do you get thrown in the deep end, or is it gradual transition academically and socially? And again, I feel like this is something I didn't even really think of. I'll start with academically. Academically, I do think it's quite gradual. In my course it was anyway. We didn't really go into much detail in anything until probably like a month in, so I really didn't find to start with that it was a massive step up at all, which was really good. But obviously that could vary depending on your course, but there's always help on offer if you are struggling with anything academically. You all get assigned to a personal advisor at the start of the year, so you can go to them if you have any issues, and there's also like help desks. So I was really struggling in my maths module, so I used to go to the maths help desk like every single week, and they really helped me understand what I was meant to do. And then socially, I'm gonna be completely honest, you are kind of thrown in the deep end a little bit, because you go from knowing no one to meeting so many people all at once. I feel like it will be a little bit more gradual this year, but there are ways that you can kind of ease into it a little bit more. So if you haven't already, I would really recommend joining the Facebook groups that go on, and then you can find out and have a little chat to who's in your flat before you actually move in, so that makes the transition a little bit easier. The next question that I've got is, please tell me about placements after courses. I don't think that I am the right person to advise on this, because I've not even finished my course, but you can email admissions or Career Central, and I'm sure they will be able to help you out on that. I just don't want to give any false information. The next question is, how much storage space did you get in the kitchen? So again, this will vary depending on what accommodation you're in. As I said at the start, I was in Hickling, and we were really lucky because we had really big kitchens, and we had so much storage space, like that was not an issue. So for my block in Hickling, we all had like a little like cupboard each, and that had our room letter on, so everyone knew like whose was whose. And I used to keep food in there, so things like tins and jars. And then we all had like a big cupboard below the units that we would share with one other person. So we had a shelf each, and that's where I would keep my plates and my bowls and like saucepans and chopping boards and stuff like that. And then we all had like a shelf in the fridge and a drawer in the freezer, so space wasn't really an issue. And I think generally the space in kitchens at UEA is quite good. Obviously it does depend on what accommodation you're in, and I can't really comment on any of the other accommodations, because when I would go and visit, that's not really something that I was looking out for. But I do know that everyone in any accommodation has like at least a little cupboard each where you can put like a few little food bits. The next one is, do UEA give you move-in slots, and how does this work? So they haven't decided yet if Movein is going to be staggered times or not. So you will be given information on this very, very soon. So keep checking your email and check your junk and spam folders as well, just in case it's ended up in there. But as far as I know at the moment, move-in time is from 10 AM, so you can move in anytime after that on your specified day. So it will either be Saturday or Sunday, but they are still deciding at the moment if people are going to be allocated specific move-in slots or not. So yeah, I'm not sure at this moment in time, but just keep checking your emails. The next question is, if I don't drink, is there a possibility I could be in a flat with people who all go out? There is a very, very slim possibility that everyone else in your flat goes out, but I think most likely in all of the flats that I know of, there's definitely been a mix. So in my flat, there was about 4 or 5 of us that went out quite a lot, and then the rest didn't. So there was more people in my flat that didn't go out than that did. So it really depends, but I think in all of the flats that I know of anyway, there's been at least a few people that don't like going out and that don't drink. So yeah, there is a slim chance, but it's highly unlikely that you will be the only person in the flat who doesn't drink and doesn't go out. The next question I have is the third level maths difficult? I'm confused between choosing second and third for future options. This is specific to my course, I think, which I do geography. So I'm not going to answer this in massive detail because I already have a video all about my geography course. So I will leave that linked in the description if you want to go check that out. But basically there are 3 different levels of maths that you have to choose. The third level you're only recommended to choose if you have an A or A star in A level maths. So it is very challenging, it is quite difficult. You don't really gain much by doing the third one. There's only one module that you can't take in third year if you don't do the third level math, if you see what I mean. But it's a maths module anyway, so it won't make much difference whether you do the second or the third one. The second one I found really challenging as well, so I can't imagine doing the third one. I feel like that would be really difficult, but it's completely up to you and what level of maths you already have. So if you have less than an A in A level maths, then I would probably recommend taking the second option. If you want to ask me any more questions on that, then feel free to DM me. And then someone asks, where can we get our bus pass from? So I actually found a link to this earlier, so I will link this in the description box, but you basically get it from First Bus. So you can get a year-round pass, or you can get like a semester pass or a 3-semester pass, which is like an academic year. The 3-semester pass, I'm pretty sure it's £200, and that means that you can go into the city as much as you want and you won't then have to pay every time you get on. So if you're going into the city more than 2 or 3 times a week, then I'd say getting a bus pass is definitely worth it. But if you are only thinking you're going to go into the city maybe once a week, then it's probably not worth it, because a day ticket is £3.80 for a student anyway. The next one I have is, can we order from any online stores while living on campus, or only specific ones? And as far as I know, you can order from any online store. So I've ordered from Amazon, I've ordered from a million different clothes shops, and I've had no issues at all. So all of your parcels will go to the parcel room. So you need to bring your campus card, and then you can go and pick them up from there. So you can literally order like whatever you want. If you're doing a food shop though, then that gets delivered like right outside your door, and they'll just phone you and then you come down and collect it when they're there. And then the final question that I have is, how can exchange students get work on the campus? So it's the same whether you're an exchange student or a home student or an international student, whatever it might be. There are a lot of different job opportunities available on campus. You can try and become a student ambassador. You could give like campus tours or accommodation tours. There's also a lot of kind of smaller jobs available. So they ask people for like photo shoots when they need new photos, or like video promotional videos that they're doing, they might ask for models. Or alternatively, You could work in the shop on campus or in the bar. So there's a lot of different work that is available, and there's also a lot of jobs available off campus. So there's a little Tesco just up the road, there's an Aldi, or in the city centre there's loads of different shops and restaurants and bars and entertainment facilities like bowling, the cinema. So there's definitely a lot of ways that you can get a job while living at uni. And we also have Career Central, which is a fantastic resource that you can use if you are struggling to find part-time work. Then they will help you with that. So that is the end of my video. I really hope you guys have found this useful, and I've really enjoyed answering your questions. If you are coming to UEA in September, then please let me know in the comments down below, and I would love to meet you when we're all back. And I wish you all the best of luck moving in if you are coming to UEA or wherever you're going to uni. I am so excited for you. I so wish that I was doing it all over again. I'm actually really jealous, so I know you're all gonna have the best time. If you have enjoyed this video, then please give it a big thumbs up, and if you could subscribe, that would be amazing. It really helps my channel out, and I am getting very close to 3,000 subscribers, so if you could help me make that happen before Christmas, that would be insane. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.